I've been fascinated by ancient Persia and Iran for a long time now. The myths and high culture surrounding this country, I think it's interesting to say the least. That's why I love games like Prince of Persia that are rooted in these myths. And now I played a game that is situated in modern Iran. It's called 1979 Revolution, Black Friday. In this game you play as Reza. He's a student who just came back from West Germany, where he studied for a year. But the Iran he came back to changed. There are protests everywhere. The Iranian king, or Shah, rules as an autocrat and people want more freedom. He decided to use his brand new camera to make pictures of these protests, to show what the people are up to. This way he gets involved with the protests more and more. Because Reza does not have any political ambitions, he is respected by all the revolutionary parties. And when the leader of the movement, called Abbas, gets stabbed, he's asked to investigate. You know, the revolution movement has several factions, with all their own agenda, from communists to religious figures. So yeah, this is the setup of 1979 Revolution. Although the whodunit gameplay is not so prominent. Most of the time the game is like a time machine. It shows you original footage from 1978 and 1979. You talk to the people from different factions and even to supporters of the Shah. You see, Reza's family was doing really well under his regime. His brother was even part of the secret police. Apart from talking, making pictures and doing some investigation, you make choices to determine the flow of the story. But keep in mind, this is based on the historical events. The endings are more or less steered in one direction. Iran in 1979 was a moderate modern country, and the graphics try to show this. Reza is in Tehran, the capital, and it looks exactly like you would have in mind. Very dusty, sandy colored buildings, and with some palm trees here and there. The graphics are semi-realistically done. I think they look okay, but a bit outdated. It reminds me the most of the Telltale series graphics, from around The Wolf Among Us. There are many old pictures and objects in this game, and of course they look great. Also the voice acting is done really well. It's all done by Americans and Canadians from Iranian descent, and this makes their accent in their English sounds genuine. About the music, I can be short, it wasn't memorable. But in a game like this, music is not that important. There are some cassettes you can find with original Persian rock, and those are pretty nice though. Maybe you noticed that 1979 Revolution isn't your run-of-the-mill game. It attempts to be a detailed reconstruction of the last few days before the Iranian Revolution, seen through seemingly neutral eyes. I wasn't there, of course, but this is done convincingly. Some of the details are amazing to see. You can see the enthusiasm of some of the people and their yearning for change. On the other hand, as a game, I'm not convinced. There are many technical issues like texture clipping, moments of slowdown and small bugs. Of course, you can say this is excused if you know that the game is an indie game with a small budget, but I think it should be at least mentioned. Another thing to keep in the back of your mind when you start playing this game is the short length. Yes, I know, this is expected for a game like this, but still. Also, there are two different endings, but neither of them is very satisfying. Most of the choices do not matter that much. This is something that quite bothered me, and maybe I should give you an example. This is a mild spoiler, but still, it illustrates what is wrong. About halfway the game, you have to decide who you accuse for being responsible of the attack on the revolt leader Abbas. This is a nice idea, but whoever you choose, it doesn't matter for the ending you get. You want to do the good thing, but it doesn't seem to matter at all. Maybe this is the metaphor the game is going for, and that would be nice, but as a game, it is really not satisfying. As a last point, I want to make clear that this is not a political channel, and although I have my own opinions like every other human being, this is not why I reviewed this game. 1979 Revolution is regarded by the Iranian government as a propaganda tool, and I do understand their point of view. Even though the Shah comes off as a dictator with a fierce and cruel secret police, the new regime is regarded as a much worse evil, who recruited convicted terrorists from the prisons and officers from the secret police alike to torture their political prisoners. I was impressed with 1979 Revolution. The game promised to depict the last few months of the Iranian Revolution realistically, and it does that convincingly. As a game though, 1979 Revolution is disappointing. It's more of an interactive documentary. It tries not to take a stance, and this is hard. In the end, you can see the alignment of the developers. If this would bother you, don't play this game. All things considered, I think you should play this game if you like history, especially Middle Eastern contemporary history, and if you have an hour or 3 to spare. I can recommend it, just do not expect too much from the choices that you make. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the Eastern atmosphere. So, this was my review of 1979 Revolution Black Friday. Yeah, it's kind of a special game. I was not sure if I should review it, because it's very short, it's not really much of a game, and it's very politically loaded. Yeah, well, if you have played it, let me know what you think about the subject, and tell people about my channel if you enjoyed it. Okay, that was it. Have a nice day. Bye bye.